Hi everyone, welcome to a Monday. I hope your Monday is going really well and I am organized. I am here. It is Monday. We are doing a make a card on a Monday and we're going to do some sponging today, and we'll also be using the Blended Seasons stamp set again because you only have 11 days left to grab this bundle if you are wanting it. Hello everyone who's starting to watch. I'm not going to chatter too much, just to say don't forget that, and I think I've put my die away, don't forget that this bundle is going to be gone in 11 days, so we're going to have another little play with it. We're not going to colour it in or anything, we're going to do some sponging today. Hi Carol, how are you? So let us, I am absolutely freezing today, so I'm hoping that my fingers are going to work. It's just a very chilly morning. Hi Deb, how are you? So let's get this camera swung around and get straight stuck into our card making, because that's what we like to do on a Monday morning. Okay, let me just put my finger over top of the camera and I will swing us around, okay? So, look at that lovely pink that my finger does. Okay, so now I have it around. There we go. Oh, don't tell me it's warm in Brisbane. My fingers are like frozen. I have had, I'm just gonna get my iPad sorted out now. I have had like 3 rounds of chilblains this winter. That's unheard of for me. So, okay, I'm just making sure that I can see me. I can see all the comments. Okay, excellent. Let us get started. And oops, oh, my zipper's just broken on my jacket. Anyway, you guys can't see that, so that's okay. So we're going to be sponging today. Like I said, we're using the Blended Seasons stamp set, and I am going to be using Sunshine Sayings, because this happy birthday, you'll see when I open this up, like I've hardly used any of the stamps, but you can tell that I used the happy birthday one the most out of all of them. It's a really good font, that one. Okay, so I'm going to be using Granny Apple Green and also Coastal Cabana. Okay, I love these blues and greens together. So let us, what do I need? Okay, so I am using a base of Whisper White, and then I've got some layerings of Whisper White, a bit of a scrap of Whisper White, and then just a scrap of cardstock. This one is actually Always Artichoke, and I do not require that one anymore. I hope I didn't touch something then. I heard something go. I could just feel that was on a bit of a weird angle. Okay, so you're going to need to grab the smallest layer that I need. Put all that stuff aside. Oh, let's get ourselves organized. Okay, I'm going to use my Stamparatus, and because I have rubber stamps, I do not need the black mat, because now this image is actually a little bit bigger than my cardstock, I do believe, so I'm going to need, I'm actually going to take that away as well, I think. I'm going to pop in some scrap paper just so that I don't get my Versamark where I don't want it, and I'm going to pop it down a little bit, and I'm going to grab one of these. Hi Kayla. I'm going to grab, oh God, I've got a massive desk and it's still covered in stuff, so I'm going to actually hold that down. All right, and I'm going to make sure that my image is up the right way and not upside down, and I'm going to pop it so that it doesn't quite come to the top, sort of like mid-top, I reckon. And if you haven't got a Stamparatus yet, it is one of the best tools. Okay, so that's all in place. Now I'm just going to scoot that over so hopefully you can see everything. So in my Versamark, oh actually, you know what I should do first? I need to get my Stampin' Buddy So, because I'm going to do some embossing here and I don't want powder. Yay, caught me live. It's not windy today, but it is just cold. I'm always cold. I've got an old strip heater on the wall here, and so I've switched it on. Closed the door. Probably cost a fortune to run. So now, one great thing I love about my Stamparatus is that I don't have to worry, like, because sometimes, you know, when you're embossing and you think, oh man, have I got my Versamark where it is supposed to be? And because sometimes it's really, really tricky to see. So I can actually do that twice. Yes, yeah, exactly, Leanne, the Stamparatus. And also when I hold the big blocks, sometimes the big block is too big for my hand, and I struggle with that. So I've got that embossed, well, inked up anyway. I'll put that aside. Bring in, now I'm using white embossing powder, and excuse my white embossing powder because it is really dirty and I've got not much left. I need to get one of those containers that I see everybody else using and just fill it up. I think that's got it all. You know, and then they use a spoon and they sprinkle it over and it all looks neat and tidy, and it doesn't look like it goes everywhere. Okay. Whoops. And I normally do my embossing over on my cupboard because I can't stand the grittiness, because, you know, it's always gritty at some stage. I do have a new one, so all right, let me get all that off. I think I've got it all in the right places. Okay, I've got my heat tool here, so excuse me for a second. Oh, I've got power cords going everywhere too, so it just reaches my desk. So let us just emboss this for 2 seconds. When it's ready, I should have warmed it up beforehand. Okay, now it's starting to go. And then I always have the urge to like touch it, but I've learnt don't touch it until it's cool. So you can see, hopefully you can see, that's all embossed in white nicely. Do let it cool down because we don't want to be smudging it. That should be enough now, I reckon. Okay, so I'm going to use my Coastal Cabana and my Granny Apple Green. So if you haven't got these colours yet, do grab them because they go really well together. I've also cut a sponge into quarters, and then I've used, oh, I'm not going to remember the name of the punch, and I just punch it out. It's just like that circle tab punch, which is probably what it's called, and I staple it to it and I write the name on it so that I know that those sponges are only for those ink pads. So what I'm going to do is just turn it on the side, and I'm going to line it up with my grid paper because I like everything to be straight, and I go about halfway, and I do want this straight, so I'm going to go about there, I reckon, and I'm just going to hold that down. So I'll do the Coastal Cabana at the top, and you need to hold everything in place. Do hold fairly firmly so that your scrap card here doesn't move. Oh, I've got bits of white all over my ink pad. Okay, and I've probably got a lot of ink on my ink pad or on my sponge already, so I'm just going to go lightly to start with, because you can put more on but you can't take it off. So it has got a tiny little bit of green in it, and it's probably from the technique I did. Oh, I'm wriggling my table, so hopefully you're not wriggling too much with me. So I'm just going to sponge this on I don't want to go all the way to the top, but I sort of just want it to fade out. So I'm just going to concentrate on this area here. Oops, sorry if you're wriggling. So by concentrating over that line, that just will fade out naturally at the top. Okay, so there's my blue, my Coastal Cabana. Oh. I gotta use them more. I thought I'd use this one enough. Okay, now I'm gonna switch around to make sure that you have got clean fingers, okay? Now I'm gonna switch around, and I'm also gonna turn my cardstock around in case some of that drags on. So just gonna line everything back up again, and then pop that over the top, and I will just allow a tiny little bit so I don't get a white line in between. Hi Sherry. Okay, so ink up again. I keep stopping on, I don't know whether it's whether you guys are buffering as well or whether it's just me, but right, so now I'm just going to do the bottom half, and again just to try and concentrate on that area there, and then the rest will fade out naturally. I need to try and get rid of that line. Must be the way I'm holding my sponge, I think. Okay, so that will give you your definite two-tone. Okay, now if you don't like that, I don't know what it is. I've got my thing on 4G. It's not on my Wi-Fi. Generally, I don't get buffering on my Wi-Fi. So you've got that. So you can leave that like that if you like. But I don't mind the line, but I don't want it so harsh. So what I then come in, I've got both my ink pads beside me, and I come in with my Granny Apple Green and I go right over the line, and some of that will then drag up into my Coastal Cabana, and then I will grab my Coastal Cabana and I will do the same thing and drag that down, drag some of the blue down into the green. So you end up you've still got your line, but it's just not as harsh. And you can just do that to however you fancy. Bearing in mind, I think, you know, you probably want to dab your sponge off afterwards because that's probably picked up a little bit of the green. So that's how I got my sponging. Like, I'll hold it up in a second. Hang on, I've just got to close these because I know what will, hang on, what colour am I going to do my sentiment in? Green? Okay, so I'll hold that up so you can see, I mean, it's taken a fair bit of the blue out by the looks of it, but it's still, let me just grab that. Yes, Carrie, watch the replay later. So I'm just going to go over that. Just make sure your fingers are clean. Good golly gosh, I've had enough of that. Okay. There we go. So you've still got your line. Coastal Cabana. You've still got your line. Let me stand up. You've still got your line, but it's not as harsh as what it was. Coastal Cabana. Okay. I shall put this away and bring this one out. Okay, so I have got a little scrap. Actually, I should buff that off, shouldn't I? Maybe not. I'll probably get that dirty. Okay, so I'm just going to put that aside and grab my happy birthday, and I don't have a block beside me. I don't have a block, but that's okay. You know what? I'll just do this. Whoops. Easy, easy. And this way, by stamping it on something else, if I happen to get, and I was using the Stamparatus when I got that ghosting as well, if I happen to get ghosting, which is, you know, not supposed to happen. Ah, did it again, look at that. Just as well I didn't do it on my card, huh? I didn't even press that hard. Crikey. Hang on a minute. I didn't think that happened when you did that. It must be, maybe it's the stamp. Let me clean that off. Then I won't get it. All right, try again. Yay! Goodness me. Okay, excuse what I'm going to use, okay, but it's just easy for little things. It's so easy for little things. I wish we had one. I wish we had one. Because you can get super fine. And I think that is not straight. Not straight. There we go. Just going to be boring, and it's just going to be a really simple card, but these are great because you can do a mass production of these cards. And okay, so right, I assume that's the right size. I just grabbed it out of my container. Be careful for sponging, be careful for that. Careful for ink on your fingers. Yeah, that's a good idea. We should sandbox that. We want a small guillotine. All right, is it going to be the right size? Good-o. Okay, so now I have got, I'm still waiting for my order. Can you believe I ran out of snail? I ran out of my snail. How does that happen? It's like running out of white cardstock, which I actually think I'm nearly out of white cardstock too. But, you know. So now I have to use tape, which takes me a little bit longer. And it's probably a little bit more boring. I know. How can you run out of tape? It's ridiculous. And I can't get, because I've been having problems with my fingernails, I can't grow them at the moment. I'm still waiting for them to stop splitting. So it's tricky. Trying to pick one that's long. Ish. And then, like, I almost had them back to the stage where they'd stopped splitting. And then I went out and did some gardening yesterday, and they all split again. Now, when I'm sticking white on white, I find that my grid paper makes it trickier because I can't see. So if I put something dark behind my card, I can actually see where my card is and hopefully get it a little bit straighter. There we go. So there's another little tip for you. Now, what do I need now? I need some of these dudes. Hey, Gail. Yeah, tape is good. It's you know, it's economical as well. I've got heaps of these rolls. I was doing Christmas cards for our Uniting Church youth group or kids group last year, and I thought I'm not going to let them have my snail, so I bought rolls of the tear and tape. So I have got heaps of it. It just takes a little bit longer, that's all. Okay, so I'm going to stick that down. So pop that up with dimensionals. Oops, don't go crooked. Okay, and then the mini ones for my, oh, you know what, I need to get my, we've got a new tool coming. I should have got it out because I'm having trouble picking things up. And it's got a spatula on one end. It's awesome. I need to get it out. It's a sticky tool. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure it's up the right way for starters. And I'm gonna, where should I stick it? Down here? There's space down here. Okay, let's make sure that we're all nice and straight. There we go. And then I keep forgetting about these things, but they are so pretty and I should not have them just tucked away. Right, so I'm going to use a big one down, if I can pick it up, big one down the bottom. And then as we move up into the different coloured gradients, I will change colours and sizes. It's always tricky. Where do you put them? There we go. The colours are gorgeous. So Coastal Cabana and Granny Apple Green. And you know, it's funny because whenever I think about Granny Apple Green, I don't think of like the apple. I always think of a granny for some reason. So there we go. There is our finished card. So again, a different way to use that stamp set as well, because most of them I've seen have been coloured, so you don't have to colour them in. You could probably pop a bit more bling on there if you wanted to, but I'll just go that way. So don't forget, the bundle, you have got 11 days left, and also the August, like this is the bundle, if you get the whole bundle, I think it's $113 with the die. Let me see if I can, oh, here they are. I had them right beside me. So with the dies, which are them, and don't forget these ones have got the double stitching on them, so they stitch the cutout and the frame. And so you get them. So they're $113, and you also get your bonus buys. So when you order these, you will get an email with a code, and that will give you $9 off your purchases for next month. So don't forget that that runs out too. Okay, so I am going to say cheerio. There's my card. You can look, there's no mistakes on this one. Some days you gotta have a win. It's a Monday, right? Gotta have a win on a Monday. Have a great day. Have a great Monday. Have a great week, and we will see you back here next week. Oh, and I'm gonna go and draw from my last video that I did with the watercoloring. I am going to go and right now draw names of 2 people to win the card kit that I had going. Hang on a minute, let me get that. Hang on. Oh, I've got to unplug. Packs to give away from my last video, and they create these cards here, which is from my monthly subscription club. So if you've got time, I'm going to go and do it right now as soon as I've unplugged, so you've probably got 5 minutes. Go and comment it if you want, and I will draw out 2 names and pop them in the post today. Okay, we shall see you next week. Bye.